Okay, so here we go. Little bonus session of the Burning Blades. So simply because there have been points in previous sessions where something has spurred a little bit of a vision. Somebody has dropped a bit of a hint about something to do with. It's usually been to do with Valorian. It's been to do with Tiamat, her current state. A lot of these dreams started coming to you earlier, and ever since Valorian took up residence inside you, you've had these little premonitions sometimes, little glimpses possibly of his past of events. And because they're always either completely spur of the moment or just a little bit improvised on the spot, we tend not to go into them too much. Also, it's like one of those tricky things where I try to be careful how much I delve purely into one character's. It's not simply doing backstory stuff, but this is all happening inside your head. All of you guys, you just have to sit here and pretend that you're not aware of any of it.
Yeah, I am always aware of that.
It can be such a fine line to tread. It's one thing when it's a conversation that everyone can at least be a part of, but
yeah, there are some moments, especially recently, where it's been very Rhogaar heavy, and then suddenly it's like, "Hey, Rhogaar, what do you want to do?" I was like, "I want to do the shortest thing possible."
I mean, if it makes you feel better, once we leave the north and go south for a bit, then you're just not going to be paid attention to for a while.
I'll be on autopilot. Yeah,
put somebody else on in the spotlight for a little bit.
Yeah.
No, I think it's going to be hopefully a bit more of a team thing for a while again after this before we focus on any one individual, but we'll see how things go because stuff always comes up. And anyway, I'm waffling. So, I thought we'd just go through this while you're still at Kelvin's care, and I think it felt appropriate and it felt suitable. So, without any further ado, following your dinner date with the dragon, as you returned to your sleeping quarters, these quite large, would have once been quite grand and possibly ornate chambers, although they are pretty much simply nothing but worked stone at this point. Like the stonework, the finely carved stonework, the pillaring, the carvings on the wall, that all remains, but think any kind of furnishings this place once have might had are long gone to the ages, and you have nothing but a simple stone slab. Very nice decoration around the edges, but it is just a stone slab to use as a bed. So you've thrown your bedroll and your blanket down over it. You're not so bothered by the cold, so you're able to give yourself quite a nice bit of padding to sleep on. And you do drift off to sleep. Opening your eyes to find yourself still lying in the chamber. Something is different, however. You can't quite put your finger on it. It's dark. It's almost pitch black, but for the faint, flickering torchlight spilling in from outside. Stepping out of the bedchamber, you find yourself not in the spacious audience chamber that you remember, but in a small corridor instead. Two guttering torches hang on one wall, bookending a large and detailed carving. From beyond the archway, at the end of this corridor, comes more flickering torchlight and the vague sound of footsteps and something else. It's a sorrowful sound. It's not quite crying, but a quiet keening instead. As you stand in this small corridor, I mean, it's maybe 15 feet long and only barely over 5 feet wide. It's a small space. What are you doing?
So I think initially I'll investigate the carving on the wall.
So this carving, and at first glance, it seems to show a simple tableau. It shows dwarves coming. It's carved in. It's a lot of it is. There's a bit of interpretation required. This looks like an old carving. It looks like you're no student of arts, or certainly of art history, but it's one of those things of how any simple person can look at, a Georgian painting, the Bayeux tapestry, Egyptian hieroglyphs, and you can just know that there's an era to this. There's a change in epoch almost.
Yeah.
This does strike you as old. The figures are simple. The symbols representing sun, moon, landscape, they're all quite primitive. Not in a crude way, just in a perspective and stuff like that doesn't even enter into it.
Yeah.
So it's an old carving, and it seems to show dwarves coming out of their caves to behold a mountain peak. Now, at first, you think it's just the play of the torchlight over the contours, but the longer you watch, the clearer it becomes. The stone is moving, it's changing. It's not exactly fluid. The changes are either sudden or gradual, so it's more like transitioning between a series of still images rather than, you're looking more like a slideshow than a video.
Yeah.
But a simple story unfolds as you watch, of the dwarves ascending the mountain, reaching the summit, a grand chamber hewn into the rock, a network of tunnels creeping out from it, crisscrossing the mountaintop. And the snows begin falling, and the ice comes, creeping into the tunnels, and the dwarves shiver in their unfinished citadel. And that's all that this carving displays.
Okay. So I guess I'll turn and continue to walk towards the next torchlight where the whimpering was.
Okay, so you're around the corner, and you find a near identical corridor with another carving adorning on wall. Again, there is a single exit at the far end of this, and the distant sounds do grow a little louder.
I don't think I'm being stealthy. I'm walking slowly, but I'm
Yeah.
not stealthy. So yeah, I'll continue on.
Yep. So you keep on going. Let's see. Yeah, you keep on going through a few other chambers, each one holding different carvings. Glancing at a few of them, it seems to. At first, they're still showing the stories of the dwarves.
So if there are more carvings, I'll be stopping and looking at them. Sorry.
Okay, yeah. It seems that each one does hold a carving.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So the next one that you entered showed giants of ice cresting the mountains and entering the dwarven tunnels. The dwarves, already weakened by the cold, cut off from their bastion of safety deep underground, they're unable to stop these giants in the natural environment. They're forced to flee. Most survivors returning to their cave at the mountain base. The chamber beyond that, the carving shows a particular dwarf. This dwarf is drawn with much greater reverence, much more detail, and a crown depicted upon their brow as they lead an expedition out through the earth, emerging into vast chambers below another mountain, defeating the dragon that lay there. In fact, do me a history check, real quick.
Sure. Normal pop history. It's 11.
11. Okay. So you're not fully clued up, but a couple of little things in your head based on your general knowledge of dwarven lore, as well as things that have been said mostly by Gotrek, but also a bit by Cal. You get the impression that this might be the dwarves leaving the Dwarven Valley at the base of Kelvin's Ken to retake Mithril Hall. You think. You're not 100% sure, but that's what it seems to be saying. There's a couple more of dwarves as you travel, but of less interest to yourself. You get to a point where there's a bit of a crossroads. No carvings in his chamber, just 3 other exits on top of the one that you came through.
Okay. I'll look down each of them. Try and see if there's anything I can see initially or hear.
Yeah, do me a perception check.
That's 14.
14, that's good. Yeah, so they all look identical.
Right.
But the sound, the slight keening is definitely coming from the passage on the left of where you entered.
Okay, so I'll head down the left then.
So, heading down the left, and as you come into the first chamber, stopping to look at the carving, this one's a simple one. And you kind of start nodding almost straight away. You know what this is. It shows the creation of a trading post, a small trading post at first, barely an inn and a stable, before it grows and swells on these snowy plains upon which it sits. And you recognise this seems to be the origins, the genesis of Bryn Shander, as it came to be the settlement that united the 10 towns. Carrying on, the next carving. This one depicts a family sundered. You see a dragonborn male, the father, choosing to take the weight of a society upon his shoulders, prideful, rejecting all offers of aid. This is his burden to bear, no one else's. As a female, the mother, frustrated and dejected, she looks out to a wide world before her, where her partner seems focused only on his burden. And a child, neglected by both, left to find his own way. Much of this one is abstract, but you interpret it with ease, because this story is about you.
Don't like it.
Pushing on to the next chamber, the carving shows a large draconic figure, similar to the father from the previous image, standing over the land, passing judgment with his gaze. And down in one corner, a noble admonishes a thief, and the criminal bears his neck out, an offering. The noble balks, tormented by indecision, sending the criminal away unpunished, and while a grinning snake-like creature watches and schemes, before coiling itself around the arm of the large dragonoid standing over all. The arm comes down to indicate the noble, with a gesture, dismissing him in anger, while the other arm comes down, wrapping fingers around the thief, grasping him, and he bursts into flame.
Nope.
Continuing on. Continuing on, you spot a carving that shows a black spider. It sat in its web, surrounded by 6 figures, each bearing weapons towards the monster. The spider flexes its legs, pulling the strings of its web tight around it. You see cloaked figures, the wings of a dragon spreading, but the figures hold fast. The spider begins to burn, and its web going up in flames with it. You pass a few of these carvings that seem to be telling stories of your own escapades, the liberation of Greenest, the freeing of the slaves at the camp and the ensuing battle. And as you go through these chambers, the sounds are getting louder until finally you discover their source. A platinum dragonborn, clad in heavy armour, trimmed with silver and gold, stands before the carving in this chamber. It's Valorian. And his hands are pressed against the carving. You realise that the sorrowful keening, barely audible above a whine, is coming from him.
It's going. I'll call out his name.
Rhogaar, you are here.
Where is he?
Oh, we are in the mountain. This mountain winds time, memories, history. These...
What?
Karen?
How am I here? How are you here?
That I cannot tell you. I think maybe because I am doomed to relive these. And somehow I have brought you along for the ride. Come. He gestures for you to approach.
Yeah, can I take a look at what he's looking at?
The carving behind him depicts a large 5-headed dragon stood upon a plateau. Dragons clash in the skies around it, while at its feet soldiers wage a battle. And as you watch as the dragons in the sky battling to and fro, the soldiers fighting, it does seem, as you watch, as you look past Valorian where he stood, he's half turned facing you, but one hand still pressed against it. As one side seems to be gaining the upper hand, pushing towards the 5-headed dragon. And Valorian gestures again. If you would stand against Tiamat, this one you should see.
I'll approach as close as necessary.
And he stands simply beckoning. His face is odd. You haven't seen his face all that often, other than when it's come up to you in visions. The clearest you ever saw it was when you first encountered him, when you first discovered his sword. But you do know that he doesn't normally have this melancholic, dreamy expression on his face. Seems like he's not all here right now, like he might be... His mind is elsewhere. And he's just standing there, immobile. And as soon as you're close enough, his hand suddenly darts out and grasps your wrist. And turning, he suddenly forces your hand, your palm flat against the carving, hard. And then, through the carving, as you both push in, you feel a sudden rush of intense cold as you plunge into darkness, followed by a wave of incredible heat and an abruptly blinding light all around. As your eyes adjust, you're standing upon the red-brown rock of a plateau. A terrible echoed shriek pierces the sky. On the far side of the plateau opposite you sits the five-headed dragon. You feel a deep, powerful terror sitting in the pit of your stomach as your brain tries to deny the simple fact that Tiamat sits before you. The skies are full of chaos as metallic and chromatic dragons clash with claw and tooth, the discharge of breath weapons giving the air a strange tang. And stood before you, a horde of kobolds is mustering to charge. Backing them up are various humanoids, swayed by promises of power. Many seem to be dragonborn barbarians of the north, clad in scraps of metal, waving fierce great weapons over their head, although there are humans, orcs, and even some elves amongst their number. It's a little bit of a motley crew. A hand clasps your elbow. You turn, you see a copper-skinned man clad in an archaic form of plate. You might not be an art historian. You're a bit better with armour. Looking at this man, you know that no one's worn plate armour quite like this in centuries at least. Longer, even still. He smiles ruefully at you from beneath his helm. It has been an honour fighting alongside you, Lord Commander Valorian. You don't recognise the figure before you, so you're surprised when your mouth speaks with someone else's voice, someone else's words. Our fight is not over yet, Sir Edelvin. Once more, onto the breach. As you take his forearm in a brotherly clasp, the man's eyes shine with sincerity. Onto the breach, and beyond, my lord. You draw your blade, a long sword glowing with a faint blue light and glittering motes of frost emanating from it, and you hold it aloft. Looking around to your sides and your rear, you see scores of knights in similar armour, all drawing their own weapons in salute. As you speak out again. Do not falter, knights of Bahamut. We must break through their lines and buy time for our priests. There shall be no quarter this day. With me, brothers and sisters, righteousness prevails, and those who would stop us will perish. With me! You break into a run, charging straight at the massed horde, and your lines charge with you. Your own battle cry is met by a cacophony of noise from the enemy as they charge to meet you. So, could you please just refresh your page? Hang on. Let me do that and that. So, yep, so if you just refresh your page for me, please.
Okay. This is awesome, by the way.
And once you have done so...
Okay, so I'm on the splash screen still.
So now, bring you onto the map. Ooh, make sure that you've got control of that. Yep, should do. If you'd like to find Valorian's token.
Oh, shit.
And roll initiative.
Fuck me. Okay.
If you want to take a quick moment just to look at his character sheet, there is quite a lot on there.
Yeah, geez. Okay, so I'll roll initiative.
Okay.
Just so we can get that sorted.
Ooh,
19. It's not bad.
A good roll, especially when he's got like a fuck all to his Initiative.
Okay, so do I need... So the first one, the Blessing of Bahamut, do I need to choose that, or has that already been chosen for me?
It's currently on... I'm going to say... roll me a d5. Should have thought that, shouldn't I?
Well, considering you've put together a whole, that's a 3.
3. So whichever's third on that list, I believe that should be poison.
Yeah, so fire, lightning, poison. Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
so you currently set to poison.
So I'm resistant to poison. Voice. Recharge 5 and 6. Oh my god. Okay. 30 feet long and 5 feet wide. DC 80. I think you said 10 D6 force damage. Okay, cool. So that's a big old breath weapon. Divine Sense. Divine Sense, I'm guessing, is the same as Divine Sense that I've got.
Yeah.
Same for Lay on Hands. Dueling, yeah. So Divine Smite, okay.
Now a lot of that stuff is included, and you should have a global damage modifier on there for the for the improved Divine Smite.
Yes, that's right. Improved Cleansing Touch. Use your action to end one spell on yourself or willing creature that you touch. Use this to your Charisma modifier. Okay. Sacred Weapon.
Yeah, again, I think you should have a global attack modifier on for that one.
Okay, so this is like I think I've seen the Channel Divinity, right? Okay. Turn the Unholy. Okay, so it's turn basically everything.
Yeah.
Fiend or undead. No, fiend or undead, okay. Purity Spirit, you are under the effects of the protection from good and evil spell. Jesus, okay. And Sentinel. Oh, okay.
I will say protection from good and evil, not necessarily going to do you a whole lot in this. Some of the things there aren't necessarily going to, and I did toy with, do I leave them off the sheet? But I'd already put them on at that point, so.
Cool. All right, okay, so I think I am, so got, okay, I've got spells as well, haven't I, of course.
Now you will see some of your spell slots and some of your resources are somewhat expended already.
Perfect.
Your health is not at full. There has been a little bit of a battle to get to this point.
Okay.
So choose
wisely.
Choose your spells wisely.
Okay. So I guess if it's in red, it's like a...
The red is the domain ones, yeah.
Right, okay, cool. Wow. Sweet. Okay, so I'm not going to need that. Okay, cool. I will... Yep, let's do this.
Let's do this. So you're going first.
Oh, shit. Okay, cool. So I will... wow, they're like 40 feet away.
I mean, to be fair, let's be a little generous, because I said, you will charge, so I think everyone would have moved up about there.
Okay, so
their mass itself would have moved.
Okay, so I will...
There.
Ooh, oh dear. So let's have a quick look at each creature in a 10-foot radius. So affects 3 creatures. That's not worth it. Guardian of Faith, a large spectral guardian appears. That's it's not even concentration.
No, but that's the one where they have to move within its range for it to whack them.
Okay, so Crusader's Might, Holy Power Radio. Deals an extra 1d4 radiant damage. Right, okay, so let's do this. So you can end this. So for Sacred Weapon, when does that end?
It's a minute, I believe.
1 minute. Okay, so I will use my Channel Avidity to do Sacred Weapon.
Excellent.
So I'll knock that off. So that's another 4.
So it begins to, as well as the faint blue light it glows with, takes on a bit of a golden hue as well.
Okay. Give me, sorry, 2 seconds. Okay. Then I will. Hmm. Uh, da, 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 da.
So much choice. All of the things that it could be.
Yeah, sorry. I left a window open. There's mosquitoes there.
Yeah.
So I think I will go for a. I'm looking at staggering smite. It's kind of give a blinding smite. I feel like because I'm already using my action, I should use my bonus action just to look. Okay, yeah, I'll go for blinding smite as well.
Yep.
Ping that in chat just so. Oh, okay, it's pre-rolled.
Oh yeah, it'll do it on the spot.
Next time you hit a creature with a melee weapon, attract your concentration. Your weapon flares with a bright light. Attack deals an extra 3d8 radiant damage. Additionally, the target must take a Constitution save. Cool. Okay, so I will do that. Then I will move forward 5, 10, 15, 20. I'll move forward right to there.
Okay.
Right to the thick of it.
So Adelwyn will charge up alongside you. And he's going to take a big swing. Big pun, at the kobold just above him. Which will be, in fact, no, he's going to position himself. Yeah, he's going to get stuck up here. And he's going to swing with his greatsword a couple of times. That one's a hit. And that one's a hit. And as he does, he just swings twice with this massive greatsword, just cleaving through a couple of kobolds. The kobolds, in return, they're going to swarm around you. These various armoured barbarian-like figures. As everyone swarms in. And because a lot of this is for show, I'm going to move these guys up here. And these guys there and those guys there. So let's just do a bunch of attacks coming at you, sir.
Okay, so I'm just going to have to BRB 2 minutes.
Okay, no worries, no worries.
That's all right, mate. So bear with me, sorry.
That's all right, I'll take the opportunity just to move some minions.
Yeah, AC 24. There you go.
Because this is what happens when you think, I'll put lots and lots and lots of enemies on the field to make it look impressive. To give the feel of a big battle is. You remember, I've got to move all these buggers. And sometimes it's not so easy to move them en masse, as it were. So if we stick them there, it's just going to be moving groups down at a time, really, isn't it? So yeah, anyone watching this, no matter how tempted you ever get, don't actually do this. Don't do what I'm doing here. Don't give your players an enormous battle scenario, even if it's a dream sequence. Just don't. Because then you end up with situations like this, where I'm having to figure out just how to go about. Or what you do is you get rid of a lot of the preamble that I've done, and you literally have it start with the battle already in full swing, and then none of this would need to be going on because like everyone would already be in combat, as it were. So that's the other way of doing it. Instead of having to actually move things on the fly. But hey ho. Right, let's just get this whole wing here. Bring it down, and then we can bring you in here. come across. Solid. Boom, boom, boom. Is that good? Just put that guy there. And then... God, I've got all these guys at the back as well. Fuck. Right. God, this resembles an absolute clusterfuck, doesn't it? Why do I do this to myself?
Okay, I'm back.
No worries.
Apologies.
It's okay. So I get for grabbing you on a Monday night.
No, sorry. It was literally just, well, I mean, because we live in such close proximity to a body of water, if I leave a window open with the light on, it gets really, like, literally, I've been up here in the spare room before, and I've come up after like an hour, and there's been literally like 1,000 mosquitoes.
Jesus.
So I just went out and with a vacuum, like I'm going to do with these fucking kobolds in a minute.
Oh yeah, my parents know your pain because they live on the canals. And yeah, my mum for the first time in her life resorted to having one of those fly strips because she can't deal. She's had enough. Okay, so we'll just move some of these guys up here, and then hopefully I won't have to touch them again. Is the plan?
They're all going to die.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. A lot of it's decoration, you know. So I've just been muttering to myself while you were sorting that out about. This is why you don't set up like a big kind of battle scenario, because then you've suddenly got all of these tokens that you've got to manage, and it's best just to describe a lot of it happening off screen.
The map, is that like map drawing thing?
This is a site called Dungeon Scroll, which I've recently discovered and started using, and it's brilliant.
It is really good. I like the style of it as well.
Right. So you're gonna have a bunch of kobolds swinging at you.
Okay.
Let's say 3. It looks like about that as they get around you. None of them hit. You got a 10, a 9, and a 15 there.
Haha, take that.
And that's with advantage.
Oh yeah, play tactics.
They are surrounding you, and a couple of the more barbaric, mercenary-esque figures lumbering up. One of them coming at you with a large glaive-like spear that he thrusts at you with, which doesn't hit. Another trying to bash into you with shield. Oh, yeah, do a quick strength check, athletics check with Valorian as one of them comes and tries to shove you to the ground.
26.
Absolutely easily, yeah. Smash that one. Do you still say the damage on that one? Yeah, you do take a little bit of damage as the shield bashes into you. You made the save, so I'm going to say it's halved. So you take 5 damage, bludgeoning, as he clatters on the side of your helm, but you're able to take it. You don't even stagger, which will bring us back to you.
Okay, so I will. I am going to hit this chap in front of me with Frostbrand.
Frostbrand.
And I'll use the 17 from the Radiant Smite from.
So basically, apply that on top of whatever you're about to do.
Holy shit! Is that right?
You've got the sacred weapon on, haven't you?
Yeah.
And you've got you've got the blessed one ticked.
So untick blessed.
That's fine. No, so it's just 21 plus 4, so 25.
Okay.
But yeah, untick blessed at the moment. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so
have you looked at Valorian's calculation for his attack rolls?
I mean, yeah, it's like plus 13. Yeah. It's so it's proficiency, and then there's a lot of shit going on.
Yeah.
So Frostbrand. So a 1 11, 6, and a 17.
So that is 18, 35 points of damage.
Damn, Gloria.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't even need the DC check as your blade just slams into him, and was it blinding smite?
Yeah.
And there is a dark flash around your sword as it strikes, but yeah, his eyes just roll back and he collapses over.
Okay, I will. I've got an extra attack.
You do have an extra attack.
I'm going to move forward to here, so I'll incur some.
Yeah, a couple little kobolds are going to jab at you as you leave their range. Got like a 7 and a 19.
And I will use my second attack to hit this guy in front of me here.
Yeah, do it.
So,
yep, that'll hit.
So 2 radiant, 14 slashing, 11 cold. God damn.
So that's 27. Yeah, and it's the other one you just cut deep across his gut. And you see the wound itself is savage, but then the cold damage seeping in, the ice creeping across. You can see it going inside the wound. You can only imagine as the ice climbs up through his body, freezing his organs from the inside.
Whew. God damn.
Dead.
And then I'm going to push on to this magey-looking boy here.
So it's not actually a mage, despite the token art that it gives you.
Okay.
This man is clad in plate armor himself. You actually recognise this man. This man is named Rhogaar, and he was once a paladin of the Order of Bahamut.
Oh, no.
Betrayed them for promises of power, wanting to be on the winning side. He betrayed your order some years ago.
Right.
So,
I'm glad I found him then.
Valorian, it's that weird thing. You there as Rhogaar, you're finding a lot of this. There's this disorientating feeling of everything being, of knowing all these people around you, of knowing this situation, but also feeling completely like surrounded by strangers, completely out of depth. But like looking at this man, you're both confounded, but also you hear this name coming up in your head. You have these memories of his betrayal coming to mind, and you feel an anger burning within you.
Okay, and I think that'll be the end of my turn.
It will be your turn. Okay. It's Rhogaar's turn. And he looks up at you, and there's almost there's a slight hint of regret along with defiance on his face, unhelmeted as he is. And he just looks at you, shaking. You should not have come here, Valorian. Well then, and he brings his glaive forward. This large weapon has almost like a flame motif, where the blade meets the hilt and the claw of a dragon on the butt end of it, as he readies himself before you. And he's going to come at you, the glaive whirling. 10.
No.
And the second one is a 24.
That will hit.
So as that one strikes, you take 13 points of slashing damage as it finds its way through your armour. That will be him. Sir Adelvin, back there. A little bit surrounded. He's going to see you fighting with Rhogaar, and he's going to start trying to hack his way through. So he's going to lay into the barbarian before him. That's 15. Does that hit? No, his first strike does not hit. So frustrated, he's going to save that. He's going to go for another swing. That one does hit and wounds the guy, but he's not able to cut his way through at this point. The kobolds, you're not currently engaged with any kobolds or any of the barbarian mercs, so we will skip over them. They don't really matter. So that'll bring us back to your turn.
Oh, I'm going to bonus action cast Staggering Smite. And God, that's a lot of things to And then I will say to this chap, Lothar, you made it. I guess, like, do I say anything? I guess can I say? I guess does he say anything?
I think it's that thing of I'm going to rule it as like anything that you want to say in this moment. You feel kind of coming to you almost unbidden, and it comes out in Valorian's voice.
Right.
It's that weird kind of Jaegering effect.
Yeah. So it's like, just a response, like you sack of shit. You shouldn't be like you shouldn't have left us. You've made a grave mistake.
It shouldn't have crossed me, you slag.
Yeah, I'm gonna fuck you up, son. So I'm gonna attack with frost brand.
Yep.
Do this.
I went Frostbrand. Obviously, is the name of the item. I just couldn't think of a great name in time.
That's a 19.
It's a 19, which will hit because he forewent a shield.
So I'm gonna staggering smite. I'll roll. So that's 12 psychic. Full radiant. I say so minus one of the radiance from the improved divine smite.
Oh, yep.
So next time you hit a creature with a melee weapon, pierce it by body and mind, and attacks deal an extra 4d6 psychic damage to the target. The target must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, it has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks, and cannot take reactions until the end of its turn.
He got a 23 on his save, so he does make his save.
Okay, ignore that second one.
That did deal 15, 7, so that's 22, 6, 28, and then the 12, we're ignoring that 4. So where are we on? We're on 28, 40. 40 points of damage from your first attack.
Okay.
Man, I love paladins.
Yeah.
Mate, I'm about to play one in Rick's Thursday thing. I'm going Vengeance, and I was like, so we're going to do the same crit rule as we do for Burning Blades? It's like, yeah, why not? Fucking ace.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you have a second attack.
So I'm overwhelmed. So second attack. Fucking hell, 35.
I think that hits.
Okay, so I'll do 35, and then I'm going to drop a 4th level smite on him. Okay, just to make sure he's dead. So is there a smite? What's the?
Ooh, I haven't got a smite 4th level one. I think
that's fine because if we read it properly, I think it's basically 4d8, right?
It's 2d8 at first level plus 1d8 for each additional spell slot, so it should be 5d8.
Okay, 5d8. I'll roll 5d8 separately.
I mean, it does say that. Yeah, it's 5d8. That's my say. 15, 16.
Yeah.
And roll your 5d8.
21 radiant damage.
21, so 37 total. I can't do that kind of maths. That's complicated subtraction. What do I look like? Calculator? Minus 37. Bosh. Sorted. Okay, yeah. He looks a little bit messed up, a little bit ruffled. He's gonna retaliate. He's gonna try and hit you with his own blinding smite.
Okay.
So he's gonna do that as his bonus action. The glaive, that's a 23.
That's a miss.
So as it comes in, aiming at your head with a vicious swing, but you're able to bring your shield up, glancing it aside, and the second one's a 9.
Oof.
Yeah, so he's still got the blinding smite up. He's concentrating on it, but he has not had any joy in actually hitting you. So Adelvin, let's just do him real quick. Pardon. So going for that guy again. That will hit. That'll be enough to fell that guy, and with his backswing, easily able to take out that kobold. Where he's then going to run up to give you some support as kobolds and such continue to press in around you. just across the battlefield as a whole, to be honest. So let's just move people in a little bit as things get tighter and a bit rougher. Oh, that's not good. Did I? Oh, whatever. So yeah, just going to move some little clusters of them further in. Like so. Yeah, Edelwyn fends off some attacks from some of the kobolds, starting to clustering around. I'll say you're going to have one's going to come leaping at you. Dagger, dagger, dagger. Oh, that guy's well will come in. So, yep, but that's a 6 and an 8, so that's nothing. Shrug them off to get back to the duel with you and Lothar, so that brings us back to your turn.
I think I'm just going to have to... I might just have to just hit him again.
Sometimes that is the best option.
It really is. So I need to take advantage of Sentinel. But for this round, I'm just gonna give him a whack-in.
Good old whacking.
So that's a crit.
Ooh, so yep, nat 20 on that one. So you should have your crit set up properly for your weapon strike. I don't know if I got it fully set up for improved divine smites and such, but we'll...
How did you... Oh yeah, for improved divine smite, how did you get that critical damage below? I've never been able to see that. Doesn't matter, we'll talk about it after.
Yes.
So I am going to also...
Well, let's see the damage come through for Frostbrand.
Okay.
Yep, that is set properly. Okay, so 12, 24, 32, just without the rolled values, and then we've got, so it's 32, 44, 50, 59 damage.
And I'll drop a first level smite on him as well. Why not?
So 48. Oh no, 2d8 plus 16. So what were we on? We were on 59. 19 total.
Yeah.
Oh, that's unfortunate. So hang on, 19 total, so 59, 79. Yep, how do you want to do this?
Oof. I mean, so he's ran in, he's like ching, 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 and then I guess it's kind of a block of the halberd with his shield. And as he pushes it out of the way, he just thrusts up under the neck, through the head.
Yep. And it just pierces through, and his eyes just kind of... Again, there's that look of sadness, and he almost looks like he's trying to mouth a word, but the blood's filling his throat, and his eyes roll back. He collapses to the ground, dead.
Just a kind of... I mean, I guess he doesn't like the guy, but quick death. That'll nice.
So, as you take a moment casting your eyes around the battlefield, you can see that the battle is hard to read. Your knights are prevailing in a lot of quarters. You see a lot of the, they have pushed back the lines a bit. A lot of the kobolds, a lot of the mercenaries are falling, but there's still so many. You're not sure how much time you've got, how much more dearly your knights can sell themselves to try and achieve this goal. Let's just move people up a little bit to maintain that illusion. You there. You there. You guys go up there. Some blokes coming up to back you up. Guys, it's like playing Blood Bowl. Just moving everyone in. Totally off on tangent. You ever played Blood Bowl?
I haven't actually. No.
If we ever do like actual like in-person game stuff, someone's got to bring along Blood Bowl for a fun diversion, because that game is mental. Anyway, so and as you're casting your eyes around, trying to read where the battle is going most your way, where the enemy blockage is heaviest, there is a heavy beating of wings overhead, and you look up in time to see a flash of silver, and a familiar shape to you flies overhead, and she's going to land.
Oh shit! Is this Torvalf?
She's going to land about here, scattering a couple of kobolds beneath her feet, as this young silver dragon lands amongst the packed enemies.
Oh shit, she's young.
Letting
Oh
out
my
a
god.
roar, and she is going to cast Destructive Wave, which I'm going to have to click on to remember myself exactly what it does. It's going to do it for me. Brilliant. Doesn't matter if they pass it or fail. It's the 30-foot radius, so that's 30 foot out from her in all directions. So you watch as this rippling wave of power, shrieking noise emanates from her. And kobolds and mercenaries all around her are just smashed apart by sheer thunder, a combination of thunder and radiant damage. I'm going to say yeah. She just creates a massive hole. This is the figure. You feel the recognition of Valorian immediately, but you looking at it, now bear in mind, Rhogaar has only met Torveth in the one form so far.
Yeah.
But you do sense this familiar soul about them as the dragon's head comes around to look over to you. Valorian, quick, I've made a path. Let us not tarry. And let's see. So, as you begin pushing forward, and we're just going to break initiative for a moment. In fact, yeah, we'll worry about that in a second. So you and Aelwyn, seeing this, cutting down kobolds around you, commanding your knights to take advantage of this, and you manage to push back the enemy forces, kind of peeling them aside to create an opening as your reinforcements, begin pushing onto the battlefield. I'm just going to move some people up here and cluster around a little bit. As you guys run to the side of young Torveth. And onto the battlefield. What am I scrolling up for? That's not where you're going to see them. Come another small contingent of your knights, along with 4 war priests. These are the priests that you know their job here is to perform the ritual that will banish Tiamat from this plane. That is the purpose that you're here for. And their arrival fills you with hope, but also a growing sense of unease that you, as Rhogaar, can't put your finger on. As they begin charging up forward, pushing through this hole. Take advantage, coming up. In fact, Torveth's going to stay on left, letting off a blast of icy breath towards some of the kobolds on your left as she does, quite casually, just decimating their ranks. And you see, as this happens, some of the dragons that clash overhead as you near this form of Tiamat, as it bellows in defiance back at you, seem to answer her call. Various dragons start landing on the field around her, although they are not alone in this, as various metallics also fly down to meet them, particularly a large gold landing between a white and a blue, and they prepared, the gold managing to fend both off at the same time. But as you rush forward with your 2 allies at your side, there is a change in the air pressure, and the large form of an ancient red dragon lands on the plateau before you. So we're going to take this guy off and these guys off the initiative order. We will add Torveth to it. And as this red dragon lands and lowers its head regarding all of you, Torveth just growls, Ashardalon. And you know this name, Ashardalon. This is Tiamat's top lieutenant, her most loyal servant. And yep, he has come to stop you. So we'll use your initiative that you've already got there. But let me just roll for Torveth and Chardalon. Oh, well, that's lucky.
I'm just like mouth open this whole thing. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on?
That's a good question.
Oh my god.
Well, you got lucky because you can probably see him on the initiative order there.
Oh shit, yeah.
So, as he bellows defiance at you, you will die before you approach my mistress. Come. It's your go, Valorian.
Oh god, can I even? Yeah, I can reach.
Oh gods, I can reach.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna pound up, just running straight for him. And I'm looking at holy weapon, but because of it, I'm trying to just do some quick maths in my head. So until the spell ends, a bright 30-foot light, dim light, deals an extra 2d8 weapon damage on hit. If the weapon is already magic, but it becomes magic. Okay, it's a bonus action on your turn. You can dismiss the spell, cause the weapon to. Okay, so I can blow it up, basically.
You can do, yeah.
So I'm wondering if. So let me do some meta. So 2d8 per hit, so that's a max of 4d8 per go. I'm guessing this guy's going to be able to hit me, probably break my concentration. Whereas if I just use the 5th level slot, I could just smite him for probably more damage. So I'm going to hit. I'm going to hit him with. I'm going to bonus action cast Branding Smite.
Okay.
Hang on, double check. That's radiant damage. Okay, so knock that spell slot off. And then I will try and hit with Frostbrand.
Do it.
35.
35 will hit him, surprisingly enough.
I'll roll Frostbrand's damage first. And then I will add the Branding Smite. I'm casting it at level 2, yes. So that's ignore the. Oh, I'm going to turn that off. So ignore the 2 from the Radiant.
Yep. So what we got there? We've got 25, 31.
Yeah, and then I will hit him with a 5th level smite.
Ooh.
Because fuck it, why not?
68.
So that's okay. 25, not great.
So 25. It's not awful either, though. I mean, look, you've got. Oh, it's d8s, isn't it? I was going to say, if those are d6s, that'd be great. Okay, but no, that's a heavy hit, and a Chardalon does as you strike. Your first cut coming just above his front. I'll say his front left leg, and he kind of pulls that back. And as he does so, you then see an opening, and you slice up just underneath the base of his throat. And he kind of roars and looks down at you in rage. Adelvin,
I've got a second attack.
you do have a second attack. That was just your first. That's right, because you bonus action smite, hit, and then regular divine smite. Okay, second attack.
Wow. 28?
28 will hit.
Okay, I'm just going to be straight Frostbrand on this one.
Straight up normal hit. Okay, that's still good.
Yeah, so that's
25.
Yeah.
Should be. That was a good round for you, man.
Yep, that'll do it. Oh, jeez.
Okay, Adelvin is going to... just going to start moving up, and he's going to be trying to come around the other side of it. And he kind of nods to you as he goes. He's readying his greatsword. He kind of gives it one of those little like rolls in his wrist. As he comes up, nods to you. I will try and get around him. And he's going to come in. So he's not going to dash. He is going to attack. He's going to greatsword. Whenever you're ready. For 24, so he hits, and he's going to throw an empowered smite into it.
Go on, son.
So that is 11 plus 19. So that's 30. Nice flat 30. That's his first attack. On his second attack, not going to smite on that one. So he's just going to go with the damage. That's straight 12. So 30. Okay. Cool. It's a pretty good opening round for you two. And not even done yet. So Torvith, she is going to try and fly in around this side of the beast. And she can, because she has the movement. And she is going to... She's used that. She can't do that anymore. Yeah, she's just going to lay into him with her bite and her claws. She's just going to go nuts at the guy. She has got advantage because she's flanking with Edelvin. So that hits. That's 26. Hits for 11. 22. Yep. Pretty sure I did the math right there. And then she's going to claw at him as her jaw locks around the great beast's neck and she starts swiping with the claws. Her first claws, though, it's just not able to pierce through its hide. No, there's the other, yeah. So she's scrabbling at his scales, unable to make a dent. Chardalon, so yeah, gonna let out a bellow of fury, and he's gonna, let's out this incredible bellow of fury that I'm gonna need. Yeah, you do need to make me a wisdom save.
Okay.
I believe Torvith
23.
Yep, you're absolutely fine. And Edelvin gets to add your charisma modifier to his one.
4.
No, +4, so 18. He is... I just moved someone I didn't mean to. No, he is scared.
Is it a fear effect?
It is a fear
Frightened.
effect.
So you and friendly creatures within 10 feet of you can't be frightened while you are conscious.
Okay, so all of you, Torvith, you feel is just, she's in this. But Aelwyn, you see him beginning to falter, but looking over to you as you kind of exert this charismatic force of just imbuing all of the valorous ideals, all of the values that it is to be a paladin of Bahamut, and just stiffens his resolve. He's not going anywhere. You do notice, in like a quick glance around, all of the knights on the battlefield that are close enough to this do quake in fear from this entity, although it doesn't completely throw them from their own battle. So having done that, he is then going to yeah, he's going to whip at you with a claw. So that's a 21.
Nope.
But then he's going to turn and he's going to bring his other claw down towards Edelvin. That's a 33. That will hit.
Oh, God.
And dealing him a chunk of slashing damage. And is then going to follow up with a bite. That's 19. What was Edelvin's armor again? Not that high. Yep, that's enough. So as he bites down, you see a flare of flame come up as the teeth make contact. That is going to be 40. Yeesh. Yeah. Edelvin cries out in pain, but doesn't give it up yet. So we're back to you.
Oh, shit, son. Okay.
Meanwhile, these guys are moving up.
Anything. So I'm gonna hit him again. Let's try and. So that's a 21.
21 just hits. Oh, hang on. Sorry, let me double check. 21 just misses.
Oof. Attempt to hit again with a natty 1.
So as you come in with your first swing, it's just shy of cutting into him, and as you, almost in frustration, try and quickly reverse it for another swing, but Chardalon sees the opening, and as you come around, his tail arcs, his enormous tail arcs around in a wide swing, but with incredible speed, that just catches you under the chin, sending you reeling backwards, knocking you prone for the moment. I say it knocks you back. Yeah, you knocked back 5 feet prone. still got you?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm just literally biting my nails.
So, yeah, I'd say you can get to your feet at the moment, but that will be...
Of course, it's still my turn, isn't it?
It's still your turn.
I'll use my movement to get to my feet, and I will turn.
You're going to push back into him.
Yeah.
As you re-enter the fray, it's a little bit like Darth Maul knocking you away kind of thing, before he turns on the others. So Edelvin is going to keep on swinging with his great sword. He does have advantage, so that will hit with a 28. And he's going to drop one of his regular Divine Smites on that one. So that's going to be... oh, I'm doing that wrong, aren't I? Okay, cool, so it's just a 7. I'm an idiot. Alright, yep. So that's going to be 18 damage on this guy. If I can just do that quick. Yep. And then his second swing... will hit for another 9. Torvith is going to... She's going to use her action. Her own tail's going to come around. And it's going to rest upon your shoulder. And so she's going to cast Death Ward on you.
Ooh.
So basically, if you were reduced to 0 hit points, you will instead drop to 1 hit point, and the Death Ward will end.
That is nice.
She looks at you. We are not done with you yet, my friend. Okay, and that will bring us to Chardalon's turn. Hasn't fully done the name change, but that's fine. Oh, that's something I haven't been doing because, of course, I always forget those. Yep, so he's just going to... Yeah, he's going to bite, he's going to spin around, and as he whirls, he's going to claw at Alduin. So Edelwin for hit for 19. So that's going to be down to... Oof. One of the claws is going to come at you. That's a 31.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Hitting you for 21 slashing. And then he's going to bite Torvith for a nat 20.
Oh, shit.
So that's going to be 40... 52... 52... I can't do maths all of a sudden. 63 points of damage to Torvith. Which does send her reeling. That's his turn. So now it's going to be your turn.
Okay. So... Bugger. So we've already used my channel divinity. I'm just trying to look through my box of tricks to see what else I've got. Okay, I'm gonna give it a whack in.
Give it a whacking.
25.
That'll hit.
That amount of things.
13 plus 9, 22, 30.
30, and then I will follow up with a... I'll follow up with another one.
Another sticky hit.
That's a 35.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Big boy. I should have cast Divine Favor earlier.
So that will be 15, 25, 27.
I'll command him to go away, you big bully. No, and that's the end of my turn.
Well, you say that, but command can actually be a really useful spell.
It really can.
Again, critical roll, spoilers, but yeah, they basically stopped this thing having any actions for 3 rounds because of command.
Yeah, just grovel or whatever it is.
Okay. Legendary action at the end of your turn. Chardon is going to do a wing attack. Of course, it doesn't roll it for me, does it? So, All of you, well, you only roll for yourself, so do me a dexterity save.
A 7? Oof.
Yeah, so you do fail, even with anything else that you have. Aelwyn, dex, plus your... he also got a 7. He got 2 7s. So yeah, even with that plus 4, that's going to do him. And young Torvith got a nat 1.
Oh.
So all of you take 2d6 plus 10. You all take 17 points bludgeoning damage, and you're all knocked prone. As he flies up and back a little bit before landing down again heavily. What am I doing with that? Which will bring it to Aelwyn's turn, so he's going to get to his feet. He's going to look up at this thing defiantly. He's going to try and thrust up with his greatsword once again. That's going to miss because he's not flanking anymore. That's just a 20. It's not enough. So he's going to stab up again with... going to put all of his oomph into this one to try and do a divine smite, but it misses. So that's his turn. Not great. At the end of his turn, it's going to do another ledge reaction because why the fuck not? And it's going to make a tail attack against Adelvin.
Oh, Adelvin's
so that's dead. A 33 for 24 bludgeoning. So that would be down to 1. Adelwyn's not looking great. His armour is, when he tries to stand after this tail attack, you can see where his armour's not just been buckled, but actually broken from the impacting points, blood seeping out from beneath. He's struggling to stand. One leg clearly unable to put weight on it, but it's making a damn good effort. So that brings us around to Torvith's turn. She gets back to her feet, and she's going to let out a growl. Loud growl, and she's going to swing around, and she's going to line him up for a breath weapon. So I'm just going to say she can place her cone so as not to get Adelwyn, because there's enough of an angle there. So yeah, that's a con save then on Chardalon, who has oh wow, he got a nat 20. A total of 36.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they've got insane save throw DCs on some save throw modifiers on stuff like Constitution. Don't try and get a dragon to make a con save. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
So it's going to be 12 d8s halved. So he takes 20 cold damage from this shower of ice crystals that rains out from Torvith. But at the end of it, he just kind of pulls his wings about him a little bit to shield himself from the worst of it. And as it stops, he just stands. Bear in mind, he's about 5 times the size of Torvith. And he just shakes, shake of his neck, and all the ice crystals just melting off before they've even hit the ground.
Man.
Which will bring us to Chardalon's turn. And he's going to... Yeah, he's just going to look at Torvith with almost what passes for a wink from a dragon's point of view. And he's going to step around a little bit, and he's going to pull his head across. So he's going to bring his head down to be just on Adelvin's right side as Adelvin's trying to stand. And as he pulls his head back, opens his mouth, and there's a glow building inside. And there's like a sound, like a slow building of a furnace, before he lets out this enormous gout of flame. So Adelvin and Torvith will both need to make their save on this one. Roll high, Adelvin. That's a 7.
See you later, Edward.
He likes his 7s. And an 11s. Wow. Double 7s from Adelwyn and double 7s... 11s from from Torvith.
Lucky 7.
On, yeah, nowhere near what they needed. Not so lucky. So that's going to be 26 d6.
How many? 26?
26, yeah. Wow, he got a lot of ones there. Wow.
Oh my god.
So you see this torrent of flame and it slams into Torvith and she lets out a cry, staggers back and almost falls. Just about managing to keep her footing, but she seems very badly hurt, very burned. Wow, yeah, she's not looking good at all. Nothing remains of Aelwyn.
Oh,
no sign. In the moment before the flames hit, his head just turned to you, just looked to you. And there was nothing. There was no fear. There was no uncertainty. There was just a nod.
Oh,
you hear Valorian's voice speaking out from you again. We will meet in the afterlife, my brother. And that brings around to your go. Now you do note, as this is happening, the priests that have been pushing their way through their night escort, and the priests now breaking to surround the form of Tiamat. As she stands there, knights fanning out. A couple of them running over to join you and help form this perimeter. Others moving out to just to prevent any interference. One of them even looking cautiously at Tiamat and wondering whether to charge her. It's going to bring us around to your turn.
Okay, I will. I'm still prone, so I will get up. And I will go 15 feet to here. And just run an attack. Big old slash 20 to 29.
Will hit.
50, 22.
22 damage.
Then come again for another slash. 24 to hit.
Will hit.
That's an 18.
So we've got 22 and an 18.
So 40?
40 total.
Then
okay.
I think I've got any bonus actions, and really.
Don't think you have.
So, yeah, that's me.
Okay. So Shardlon is gonna, legendary action at the end of your turn. That tail's gonna flick out against one of those knights that's running up, and just sends the guy into next week. As the guy's running forward and bringing his sword up, like battle cry on his lips, and the tail, Shardlon doesn't even look at this guy. The tail just flicks around and slams in the chest, and he just goes flying backwards in a crumpled heap, not moving where he lands. Torvith, on her turn, is going to... she starts limping back a ways, but not fully retreating, just... and she is going to cure wounds on herself at 4th level. Wow. That's awful. So
I like the sound of that.
Yeah, no, she healed, got her higher cast, so she rolled 3 additional d8. She got 3, 3, and a 1. But it's not adding her modifier. Oh, no, wait, it is. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, she rolled 3... On the 4d8 that she rolled, she got 3 3s and a 1. So a grand old total of 14. Well, it's something.
Big boy rolls.
Oh, and she needs to roll to see if... she gets that back, which she does not. Which will bring us to Shardlon's turn, and he actually has to roll the same thing. Same result. Okay. Yeah, he's just going to go in on you. Bites and the claws. So that's a 26 to hit you.
That'll do it.
That's okay, because the other one was a nat 20. You avoided that. So that's a total of 32.
Ow.
As it comes in. So, because you're dealing with a lot of new stuff here, You've got 19 piercing damage and 13 fire damage coming at you.
Okay, so 19.
But
I don't have any resistances to fire, do I?
You could have. It's one of the top abilities in your thing. It's one of the Bahamut's blessings.
That was poison.
But what does it say underneath that?
Oh gosh, when you're attacked, you may use your reaction to switch your resistance, picking one of the other options. I will use my reaction to pick fire to be resistant to.
So you take 25 points of damage total as you cut some of that fire damage down.
Okay, so not bueno.
Not bueno, but could be worse.
Could be dead.
Claw's coming in. That's 25 with the claw.
Yeah, I'll do it.
For 17.
Oh, gonna have a bad time.
Bad touch. Bad touch. And then the next claw, when it comes through, is only a 19.
Pitiful.
So that last one misses. Pathetic. A 19. Seriously.
How dare you?
All right. So at the top of that round, there is a mighty cry that goes up out above you as an ancient silver dragon comes flying down from battlefield. It's being chased. There's an ancient large blue dragon, as well as a green on its tail. But as it's flying down, a pair of copper and brass come up and intercept, allowing this silver dragon to come on, flying in and land nearby Tiamat, where immediately it rearing up on its back legs, begins weaving the same symbols, and you can feel at the base of its voice as it begins muttering the same words as it joins your war priests in empowering this ritual to bind Tiamat. Because dragons are powerful spellcasters, y'all. Okay. And that'll bring us back to your turn, Valorian. You do notice a Shardlon, seeing this silver dragon come in, looks noticeably disturbed.
Okay, I will 5, 10, 15 literally stand between.
Get right in his face.
Yeah. And then I'm just going to have to... I'm going to have to pump all my lay on hands into myself. 31 points of lay on hands.
Okay. Putting your health back up.
It's 31. I'm back up to 53. And that's all she wrote.
Okay. Shardlon's turn. He is going to do a legendary action at the end of your turn. He's going to attempt another wing attack. So I need another dex save from you, please.
Okay. 21.
Natural 20. Yeah, no, and then it's plus your charisma modifier as well.
Oh gosh, it is. Yeah, so
25.
Yeah, so that's whenever your friendly creature within 10 foot, whenever you gains saving throw equal to the charisma bonus.
Yeah, so 25. That's exactly what you needed.
So
yeah, as Shardlon begins to beat its wings and begins to fly up away from you, you're able to steady yourself and hold your ground. And he is going to try and fly up and over you. Now you will get an opportunity attack on this one because you weren't knocked away from him by the wing attack.
I will take that opportunity.
Make your swing.
Does it have to be a regular attack?
Can
it be a grapple?
Well, bear in mind you have Sentinel. So if you hit him, he's not moving anyway.
True. Okay, so I will do that, Frostbrand.
Yeah, I think some things as well, it's like, I think you can do a grapple as an opportunity attack, just future reference. I know that some things, like if you're a barbarian, you can't make it reckless, but I think if you're a paladin, it just says when you hit for Divine Smite, so I'm pretty sure you can apply smites to opportunity attacks, for example. I'm pretty sure. Anyway.
Yeah. So Frostbrand is a 19.
Only a 19.
Boo.
Not going to be enough. as he begins to fly. Can fly up to half his flying speed. So he's able to fly up 10, 15, 20. Yeah, he's able to fly. He is above you over here, and it looks like he might be preparing to try and like come in across the flanks. It looks like he's lining himself up for a bombing run kind of thing. Okay. At the end of that, so that was his legendary action. So Torveth is going to come up underneath him. He's just going to fly up in like a bullet and try and take him down. Oh, let's see if she gets her thingy back. She does. Okay. Now that would be foolish to attempt. Yeah, no, she's just going to fly up into his underside as he's like seems to stop, to hover in midair, to turn to regard this large silver dragon that's joined in the ritual. He's eyeing it, and you can see like he's getting ready to fly forward, and she just comes in, slamming into his underside, around about the point that you can see on the token, really, just there. And she's going to do her full complement of bites and claws.
Do it.
That's a 21 on her bite, which misses. A natural 20 on her claw.
Hell yeah.
For 20 damage coming in. It's going to allow a roar. And a 23 on her next one, which also just hits. So she does a bit of damage as she just slams into him. And there's not much coordination. It is just, this is almost like an animalistic kind of desperation attack that she's laying into Chardlon. On his turn, he will not get his breath weapon back. And he's going to try to attack her to get her out of his face. In fact, he's going to try and slap her to the ground with his tail. So, yep, that hits for 20 points. And they're going to do contested athletics checks. For flavour, because I'm the DM and I can do whatever the fuck I want. Oh, she just fails, so she takes the 20 damage and gets slammed to the ground, where she falls prone. And Chardlon watches her with satisfaction as she hits the ground before his head comes back up, and you can see him preparing again. It's your turn.
Oh my god, so how high above him is he?
He's about 25 feet. It's not super high.
But Platinum Dragonborn can't jump, famously.
Oh, you might have other stuff on that sheet.
Give me a second, so... Fuck it. I'm gonna command. I will command him to grovel.
He's got a grovel command coming out. Okay. It's a wisdom save, yes?
It is
DC 18.
Yeah.
Wisdom save from the red dragon. Wow. So he got a 9.
Oh shit! Ah!
You know what? I think it's interesting. So yeah, that's going to go through. Okay, yeah. So you have ordered him to grovel. It's your action.
He completes it on. Does he complete it on his turn?
Completes on his turn.
Okay, so I will move up 5, 10 to here.
Okay.
And then that will be my turn.
Now, I know Mercer had it work this way, but I'm not, because I think I don't think he should be able to do legendary actions when he's been commanded to grovel, because it just doesn't make sense to me. So he's not going to be able to interfere. Yeah, Torveth is going to pick herself up and she's going to fly up above Ashardlon as I'd say he's beginning to come down. As the command not only and command him to grovel, it's not only telling him what he has to do. Like on his next turn, he's stopped flapping. He is beginning to descend. Torva sees his opportunity. She's going to fly up above him, straight up above him. I would put her like on top of his thing, but that'd get hard to see. So she is going to try again with her cold breath. I mean, he's going to make the save. But he literally can't not.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, his modifier... So her DC is 17, his modifier is 16.
Shit.
He literally can't fail to resist her breath, which makes sense.
Yeah.
To be honest. So we'll do the 12d8 and he'll take half of that. 45 though, so 22.
Not bad.
Takes. 37... Yep, okay, so that's him. On his turn, he has to complete the grovel. So he lands and goes prone. But, I mean, once... What does it exactly say on command? Does it say it ends once he's performed the action, or just he performs the action on his turn?
So, let me see if I can link it in.
Is that a question of, does he go prone, land, and then the spell ends, so he's able to use the rest of his turn to get up, or...
Since I throw the spell has no effect, blah, blah, blah.
Okay, yeah, falls prone and ends his turn. So that's what he does.
Oh, shit. Take that, bitch.
Okay, which brings it back to your turn.
Right, okay, so feeling he's going to try and
I mean, that would
again.
have pissed him off, definitely.
Yeah, can I... And so this he's massive, isn't he? Huge?
It's huge, yeah.
So,
in fact, he's counted as gargantuan.
Okay. Would I be able to climb on top of his back?
You can. I'll say do me an athletics check as you do, just to see how you keep your footing. It's not going to be hard. Yeah, you
60.
pass. Yeah, you're able to run up him. This is not your first dragon rodeo.
Okay, well, so I'll go up onto his, basically between his wings.
Yep.
And then I will try and stab. I'll stab downwards.
Okay.
Trying to leverage some of those spines.
So he's prone. You have advantage.
Okay, come on.
Okay,
24.
well, you do hit.
So that's 21.
Yep, 21 damage.
Again.
There's
For
your
a crit. And then I'll just use my I'll ask my final first level spell slot to Divine Smite him as well. So that's whatever that number is.
Okay, so 12, 12, 8. Well, that's the 32 again. 40, 45, 48, 58 plus... let's take off 58 and then another 31. Yeah, as it plunges deep in, it lets out a terrible, terrible roar of fury, of pain. Damn, yeah.
And I'm just going to... I'll crouch. And because if he takes off, I'm hanging on, I think.
Gotta hold on tight.
Yeah, that's the end of the turn. God damn, this is a big hit.
Okay. At the end of your turn, this legendary action is gonna try and whip you off with his tail. That's a 34 to hit.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Can you do me an athletics check to see if you keep your footing?
23.
26.
Oof.
So as you're there and you plant yourself and lets out roar, and then you just, in your peripheral, you see this enormous tail coming up, and you brace yourself, but it's not enough. It slams into you. So it's 20 bludgeoning damage that you took from it, and you are knocked off him, sent scattering prone onto the floor. Torveth, on her turn, looking absolutely spent and exhausted, is going to land, and she's going to try and heal herself once again. Yep, she's going to cure wounds herself at 4th level. Try and roll higher this time, my dear. That's a bit more like it. So that's 22 that she gets back. Okay, she's still not looking good. Very badly injured, badly burnt, just holding herself in there. A Chardalon's turn. And roars with fury and brings himself up to his feet, looks over at you, flicks around to regard the other knights gathering around, the other dragons battling. But then there is an earth-shattering crash. You feel the whole ground shake, and everyone stops and turns and watches as around Tiamat, as this ritual comes to a crescendo, the ground before all four of the war priests, the ground between them and Tiamat, erupts as these enormous burning chains thrust out of the ground, up and around Tiamat, start wrapping around her and start dragging her down as the ground beneath her opens up into some kind of hell gates. The sounds coming from through this gate are almost worse than the ones coming from around you. Like, the cacophony of battle is incredible, but these sounds are real, are natural, are organic. The ones coming from out of this hole are disturbing. They're unnerving. This is not right, what is happening here. Like, you can't shake that feeling. And then, with an even bigger boom, the ground before the ancient silver rips open and multiple chains now come shooting out, wrapping around Tiamat, dragging her down. She screams and flails helplessly, unable really to... There's an interest... You observe something interesting here. Valorian definitely notices this. You notice it as well, is that through this whole battle, Tiamat really just stayed put. And you notice from the way that she's flailing, there doesn't actually seem to be a whole lot of power in her physical form.
Mm-hmm.
And she's unable really to resist as she's dragged under, screaming, and then has a final, the red head of Tiamat, as it tries desperately to stay above, is finally pulled under. This hellgate, with a roaring, rushing sound, snaps shut. And there's this strange, oppressive silence echoes out across the battlefield for a moment, like a absence of sound, as opposed to just normal lack of it. And then it returns with this rushing, red-hot wind. As Chardalon, seeing this, bellows in fury, and it begins to beat its wings as it begins to fly up. His head whips around to you. I will not forget this morsel. There will be a reckoning. And with a mighty beat of his wings, he flies away. You look around. Some of the dragons lay slain. Others managing to fly up and away as they leave. You see that the majority of the kobolds and mercenaries are defeated. Those who haven't are now fleeing. There is a sense of relief over everyone on the battlefield. The remaining knights and paladins looking around, just kind of in disbelief that they've just lived through this. And then you hear Torvath kind of cry out a sorrowful sound. As you look up, you notice the four war priests all dropping, collapsing, face down in the red dust. And you see as the ancient silver staggers, stumbles to the side, trying desperately to hold its head up, but its neck just gives out and collapses weakly on the floor before giving one shuddering breath, collapsing. And then there's a rushing sensation as your perspective is pulled away from you and you're plunged back into the darkness, through that wave of incredible heat, back through the cold. And then you are stood before the carving with Valorian again, your hands both pressed firmly against it.
Fucking hell. I think he'd just be like, he'd like stagger back in shock, like barely able to put words together.
And Valorian turns to you, and there's a strange look on his face. It's that weird mixture of pride and sorrow. We sealed Tiamat in the Avernus that day, and she has never truly been able to leave. But the cost was great. Not just the lives that were laid down, but the souls that were lost. The ritual that sealed her was one of infernal origin. The priests who cast it, and Torvain, mighty ancient silver of her clan, also lost her soul that day. Understand, once lost, they can never be reclaimed. They will never pass beyond. Nor will I. I will never keep my promise to Edelvin. Die the hero.
Not to pass beyond.
Sorry, say again?
Why is he not able to pass beyond? Why are you not able to pass beyond?
Because of the curse. Because that is another story for another time, maybe. All you need to know is this. Tiamat can be stopped, if not defeated. She is not some impossible foe. You have seen this now. But you need to know what it cost. I heard you yesterday. You nearly gave it all for the dwarf. He is a good man, Rhogaar. But is he worth you? Do you think others will not fall on this path?
Maybe. I just know that we all need each other.
This is true. Edelvin was my friend of many a year and many a battle. When he fell, I could not stop. I had to press on. If the time comes when you must make that choice, will you be able to stop emotion clouding your judgment?
I want to try.
This is all any of us can do. And therefore, there is hope, still, that you might be able to stop Tiamat. Well, now you know.
Thank you for showing me. I'm not sure what to say. Thank you.
Maybe in future, maybe there is more I can show you. For now, you have enough to think on. But it is good that you have done this. It brings our souls closer. You must do one last thing for me, Rhogaar.
Anything.
You must wake. And he slams you in the face with the flat of his palm. And all of a sudden your eyes start open and you are lying. You've fallen out of the bed. And you're lying on the cold stone floor of the bed chamber. Rory over in far corner, stirring on his own stone bed, You kind of don't seem to have woken him. And you notice Valorian is in your hand. You must have subconsciously summoned the blade in your sleep, in your struggles. It's different. Valorian now has a faint blue glow to it, and small ice crystals emanating off of it.
What?
So essentially, Valorian is now a +1 weapon. So +1 to attack and damage rolls. And will deal an additional 1d6 cold damage on hit.
God damn.
And I believe, let me double check, so I don't get it wrong, because I looked at this last week and then not again since. While you hold the sword, you have resistance to fire damage.
Shit.
In freezing temperatures, it sheds bright light in a 10-foot radius and dim light for an additional 10 feet. And when you draw this weapon, you can extinguish, so basically when you summon it, you can extinguish all non-magical flames within 30 feet of you. So that aspect of it can be used no more than once per hour. I don't know the situations in which that could be useful.
It just sounds cool.
Maybe next time we resets fire to a tavern, maybe. So essentially, you now have a plus. Valorian has gained the abilities of a basic Frostbrand.
So it's 1d6
cold damage. Basically, over time, as you and Valorian become more synchronized in understanding each other, in being of same purpose, of same mind about things, you may find that the blade you hold more closely resembles the blade that he wielded in times past.
Okay, 1d. Okay, what is it? The crit is... Okay. I think I've got that set up correct.
Well, so no worries. We've always got time to check over it on Wednesday, if you're not sure.
I'll do this real quick. So
12, so that's plus the 4 strength, plus your 3 prof, plus 1 magic. Yep, that's fine. And then plus strength, plus... That's your dueling mod, that too, isn't it?
That is, yep.
And then plus the 1 magic, yep. And then the d6 cold. Yeah, that's working fine.
Okay, so I'm just going to do... You know what? 2 seconds. I'm going to make a crit work. Crit. So that 14 plus the 8, and then the 1d6 plus the 6. Okay, so that does work.
So yeah, there you go.
Fucking hell. Oh my god, that was amazing.
Oh, I hope you enjoyed. Just obviously we are getting a little on in the evening, so hope it didn't feel too kind of rushed at the end there. But then there's also limited RP you can redo in that moment when you're seeing just a little slice of somebody else's time, a little bit of their history.
Oh my god, I was taking so many screenshots throughout that.
Okay,
my desktop is full of screenshots.
Well, that's where we'll go ahead and just wrap up this little bonus session for tonight. So thank you for joining us for that, for this little bit of a history lesson. And we'll catch you with the next full session where, there won't be anywhere near quite so much drama, I imagine. We shall see.
Less dragons.
A lot less dragons. All right then. Well, thank you for joining us and hope you enjoyed. Good night.